There you are. Pat, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yay, it's working.
What's good? What's good?
Uncut Melanin, episode 5. We're moving and grooving.
All right, it's gonna be our yearly end review.
What is this, your taxes?
Something like that. We try to get on them taxes in the first place.
Oh, no. I know everybody waiting for that.
Yeah, that's right.
How you
You
doing? How's
know,
your week? How's your week? Christmas?
Christmas was good. Spent time with the
Mhm.
family. Um, gave out some gifts and ate some good food.
That's what it's all
Yeah,
about. Yeah, man.
right. Exactly. Can't get too in depth
I
in
know,
that,
right?
right?
Let's just relax and chill out. So, what is your do you have a black business?
Black business. I don't think I do. I think I'm
Ay,
slipping
ay, ay,
today.
ay, ay.
What about you?
I
What's up?
have, I do have a business. It is Shaz Unlimited.
Shaz Unlimited.
She is at Shaz Unlimited on Instagram. She's a makeup artist and a hairstylist to the stars. Check her out. You can book her. She is excellent. She does great work. She's been in the industry
That's
for
awesome.
years and years. And she's really good at what she does.
That's what's up. Did she do some work for
Yeah,
you?
she did my makeup for my photo shoot that I did.
Okay, okay, that's right, that's right. I know I heard that name from somewhere.
Hmm.
All right, so it's the end of 2019, and you know what? This year was busy. There's a lot of things going on from every little square corner
Yeah.
of this place, and I mean, we could touch up on a lot of things. We can get into anything that you want to jump into. We could just touch up on there.
All right. So let's see. I mean, 2019 is the end of a decade. We're now going into the 20s. Yeah.
Exactly. How about
I
it?
remember this guy Maduro won the his second term in Venezuela, and Paraguay and
Hmm.
Peru recognizing this guy, but Brazil was seeing him as legitimate, so they're still doing business with them. But I know Venezuela's still going through it with people having access to food and resources. So that's
It's odd that you see a place like Venezuela where, I mean, it's abundance around like the forest, just a vast
they have
amount of
lots of
land, and
oil and
then
things too.
right, you would think that something like that would be something that's possible, but even in this era, it's still a struggle, and when it comes to politics, whether it be here or in other countries, it's still a far reach to having a smooth run with
Yeah,
anything.
for
So
real. What else do
yeah.
you remember happening this year?
This year, China landed on the
Oh, they
moon
did.
for the first time. Yeah, they landed on the far end of the moon. I guess the part that nobody's ever really reached, and and that's an accomplishment for them because China's trying to get their hands in everything
I'm like,
with their vast.
damn, they late.
Nah, they if they late, they definitely put it on a move because I think there's been a slowdown in um like reaches out for the moon.
Yeah,
Like I think everybody's focused on Mars and stuff like that, but China's trying to put a sign on the back of on the moon saying "Made in China." Trying to lock them
for
in
real.
like they doing the islands right now. China has their hand in every single
Yeah,
island, especially Africa too, which Africa is not an island, but they got their hands
for the
real
late.
deep in the
Yeah,
countries trying to do their thing. So first the moon, then Mars, and we gonna be owing that money up there.
for real. Hmm.
You know? So be on the lookout for China and shit.
Get me a Chinese man.
China man.
I'm just
Good
joking.
luck.
Um, What else happened? Oh, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram merged into one thing. Facebook and huh, huh.
How you feel about that? Because first of all, Facebook already like you got a full um problem with keeping people's information. Now they're going deeper into Instagram, which they probably already had a hold on that, but then what about WhatsApp? Like now they're getting into like
Yeah,
personal stuff that we don't
right.
expose on social media.
Hmm.
Like
Like I
you
would
just
always use WhatsApp, as like because because of the privacy, the encryption, that end to end encryption. You thinking your stuff is safe, but now I was one. Somebody was like, "How does WhatsApp make their money? Like they don't charge any money. Like they making some money under the table by selling information. Got to be
gotta be. And I'm pretty sure people expose way more on WhatsApp
hmm
than they do on
for
Facebook. So
real.
um
What else?
we just got to really think about it for those people that use that application.
Exactly.
Another thing is, I don't know how often you use the search engine, but I know the most search engine that people use is Google,
Hmm.
right? And Google already own the most video search engine, which is
Hmm.
YouTube. But I also heard that they jumping into healthcare.
What?
So, uh, yeah. So if they doing that, we could definitely be looking out for Google to try to take over some healthcare policies and into the game of health. So I don't know how much you heard about that, but I seen that happening this year,
I,
and
I don't
2020
know
is
why that
coming.
makes me
So
think that like they're gonna be start trying to put little bots, nanobots inside our bodies to control us. But that's just my conspiracy theorist mind going. You know.
oh, yeah, the nanobots is coming. Don't worry about it.
Hmm.
They coming. It's gonna come off as a perfect health plan for you until they malfunction or whatever they are, but they coming.
Exactly.
They already working with the
Hmm.
chips. I've seen a couple people already chipped already,
Hmm.
and it gives you diagnosis of your health and all of that. But we'll see what the future brings. Yeah, Google's in the health now, so
Okay. Well, what else? The Patriots won the
yeah,
Super Bowl again.
they did once again. And listen, the guy is phenomenal. I can't take nothing away from
Hmm.
Brady. But I can actually take away, and this is probably going to be our sports segment. And I'm gonna say that my team, the New York Giants, is probably the only team in the last 10 years that actually took a Super Bowl from them.
Mm.
You know, multiple times. So, if anybody is the arch enemy, it's probably gonna be the Giants because after that, Brady had no adversaries that really consistently put work on him, and he's been winning them. He looks pretty strong this
Yeah.
year. We'll see what the Patriots bring out for the end of the Super Bowl for the end of that season
Mm.
for sure. So shout out to
All
the
right. Yeah, we look
Patriots.
forward to see what they all
Phenomenal
gonna do next
guys.
year. This coming year, we hope. You know
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
What else you got?
Um, what I got is that funny story. We were talking about it earlier, but the Area 51
Oh
people,
yeah. They remember that people was gonna storm. We were expecting millions of people to show up at Area 51,
yo,
demanding to see the aliens.
everybody was hyped. They was hyped. I'm telling you, they
They
was
made
so
T-shirts
hyped.
and everything.
We going to get the aliens. We about to get all this information that they've been hiding from us. It's about to be a wrap. Everybody meet up. Let's storm the place. You know what was gonna happen? Them people was gonna get towed up by the
I know.
military. You ain't storming no military
and
base
and
and
the
nothing's
United States
happening.
of America.
They was gonna light their ass up. Talking about you storming airfield. They was prepped. They was ready. They was gonna use sound wave machines on their ass. So yeah, that was one of the big hypes of 2019. But obviously nothing ever happened. And yeah,
Yeah, but I think
even though I still think it's information they're holding out from us, but
yeah, most definitely.
guess we ain't gonna get
I
that
think
way.
like 1,000 people showed up, but I mean that ain't nothing. They were expecting millions, and ain't nothing happened. So
Yeah, they need more. We need a couple of people to fall for the team
for
for you to
real,
actually get across.
how much is
Hell
this
yeah.
information worth? Is it worth your life? I don't know about that.
Yeah, let's see how much people really stand up for you.
Exactly. What else I got? Oh, we had the children were separated from their parents in these detention centers still. Um, with the
Yeah, that
Mexican,
was another
the
like
immigrants, the illegal immigrants, or whatnot.
yeah, they shut down that story real quick because it was mad heavy that it was talking about
Mm-hmm.
it, and all of a sudden you don't hear much about it. But I know they're still
Yeah.
detained. There's still people that's actually not well. Their health is in danger being in these kind of facilities, and kids still being separated from their parents for months upon months. Like I don't even know what that could feel like. Like just picture you being a kid being detained, and then your parent is trying to figure out what the hell is going on, especially if they probably can't even speak English.
Mm-hmm.
Like came by somebody else that doesn't that's speaking another
Right.
language. It has to be difficult, and I think a lot of this was because of the push from Trump, and it could have been dealt a different way. If you felt like you didn't want to bring a countless different people from other countries into the country, you had to structure it where it's not like barbaric. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like you can't just
yeah, you
snatch.
can't just, I just think that like people, people, this country was built on immigration, and people have been here. People that has been here all their lives. Their parents have never filed no papers. Like he's not taking all those things into consideration. Like these people are basically American. They just don't have the paperwork. They live in the lifestyle.
Right. Yeah, especially if you've been here your whole life, you in college. You know what? You bringing that up, like somebody just being here their whole life, right? I've seen this girl. She wanted to go to college, so they had a fake college recruiting session or
What?
whatever. They had all the people that come recruit for the college, et cetera, et cetera. And I might not be exactly right on this, but it was like they had people signing information, and then once they found out some particular people that were not legal but still wanting to go to
Mm,
college, they detained them.
damn,
Like, how grimy
that's
is
so
that?
messed up.
Like, yo, I'm coming here to go to college. I'm trying to get my thing right so I could do something with my life. I ain't trying to do no criminal activity. I'm here to try to get some
And contribute to
education.
society. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like the lowest of the low. Like, find something else. Like, do something else with your this money y'all trying to disperse within the police system. Y'all detaining people that's trying to sign up for
Yeah,
college.
you're doing the
Come on.
most. So what else you got that happened this year?
All right, so a couple people passed away. I don't know if you have a few people, but I know that John Singleton, with all the movies that
Oh,
he has
I
created,
love him.
the most was for me was Baby Boy. And I know you could go countless down the list of the hands of things that he's put his hands on. Like he was a
Yeah,
great
Son.
man.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bushwick Bill died
Oh yeah, that's true.
from Good Boys. My mind's playing games on me,
Hmm.
like tricks on me. Like he was a staple center of what hip hop was. It was like real rugged. Like I used to always look at, even though he was a small person, like he always looked like somebody that could tear somebody up. You know what
For
I
real.
mean? Yeah. Um,
Oh
Nipsey
yeah,
passed
Nipsey was a
away.
big one. People were really hit hard by that one.
Yeah, and me following him from before he became really mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
somebody that was really putting in some work to make a big difference in how your perspective on hip hop is, because I think there's a rift right now where it's all about not really pushing the envelope of what's after, because there are successful people that have become powerhouses like Hove, like Diddy, like
Mm-hmm. Right.
Dre. um, Nipsey was pushing for everybody to have a mindset of, having success, having plans, having those things that will make it worthwhile, and not just based on your music making money, but making money throughout all the things that you can put your hands on. Because he had his stores, he had a vision for real estate. You know, he was about to be putting his hand into a casino. That was big. Like those things were something that the new generation hasn't seen somebody like Nipsey pushing to, really, find multiple revenues of money that looks appealing to the younger crowd. So he was that voice that I feel like was going to be able to attract more people to his thoughts, his ideas. He was great to me. You know what I mean? Um, who else? John
Mm,
Witherspoon
Witherspoon.
from Friday.
Oh, he was the one.
Yo,
He was from
I could
Sanford
hear
and
him.
Son, not John Singleton. God, how did I mix them up? He was from Sanford and Son.
Was he in San
Let me look it
Francisco?
up again. Hold on.
He was in Friday. I know that he was in a couple of other joints, but I don't know if he was in Sanford and Son. Nah, that you
That was
probably mixing
Singleton?
them up, or he
No, yeah, John Witherspoon.
Singleton was the producer. He made all the
American
movies.
actor, Friday, Boondocks, Black
Check it
Jesus.
out.
Oh my God, I love Black Jesus.
Boondocks. Yeah, I started watching Black Jesus, but I didn't really get to finish all the details, all
Oh,
the
he was so
videos.
good times. He made a few appearances. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad. You're right about that.
Okay, okay, yeah, but
Yeah,
Pops,
exactly.
everybody know
Yeah.
Pops. Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate. He probably should have been on the last Friday that's coming out. That would have
Mhm.
been dope for him to be in it. But
Exactly.
rest in peace to all those people. I don't know if there's anybody else. Do you remember that passed away this year?
To be honest, no, I can look it up real quick. Let's see who
Yeah,
passed away this year. But you know what else?
check it out.
Um, while we're doing that, because we can probably talk all day about who passed away this year. Um,
Yeah, countless. That guy from who's the guy that sold, I think, was it Chanel, or can't remember his name.
oh, we had said it earlier.
The fashion designer.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. That old white dude.
Yeah,
Whatchamacallit?
he's been in
Toni
the game for a minute.
Morrison.
Toni
She
Morrison,
passed
yeah,
away. You know, she's a great author.
that's right. All them incredible. She won the
She won a Nobel Peace Prize.
no Peace
Oh
Prize.
no, a
Yeah,
Nobel Prize, Nobel laureate for writing. I don't think it was the Peace Prize. Oh, the guy that did the Muppets, Carol Spinney, he died.
oh yeah, Chewbacca died. The guy that did the voice for Chewbacca
Oh
died too.
yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, all them Star Wars fans out there, sci-fi fans, a great one was gone. Yeah, everybody knows how he sounds too. So
The beautiful Diane Carroll died. She was 84.
wow, wow, yeah, she lived a
I
long life. That's
know.
what's up.
Toni Morrison was 88.
Let's see, she was up
For
there.
real. Let me see who else we got.
Mhm.
I'm looking. They have Grumpy Cat. Who the hell is Grumpy Cat? They got Grumpy Cat on this list.
Grumpy Cat?
What? Who
Nah.
said Doris Day died? She was a pretty big actress back in the day.
You know what's funny talking about death? You know how they compare all the truth that comes out of The
Mm-hmm.
Simpsons, and they showed up. They said be patient because they showed an episode from the past where Trump was president and he ended up passing away. They said be patient. The Simpsons never lied. Like yo,
For real. Oh, Carl, the guy from
they
Chanel was Carl Lagerfeld.
called Maxwell. Yeah, yeah, he
Yeah,
passed away.
Trump's about to be.
Man,
Luke Perry died. He was 90210.
90210. Hey. Big time. Luke Perry was, the hot boy that all the girls went
Oh,
crazy
I sure
for.
did. When I was in my white boy
They
phase.
they was locked in on
For
Luke.
real.
He was the
Oh,
face.
Kevin Barnett died. I didn't know that.
From
He was
what?
if you see his face, you're gonna know him up. He was under the Fox sitcom Rel. He was on the Karma. If you see his face, you'll know. He's been in a few different
I'm looking at him right
Kevin
now.
Barnett, yeah.
Kevin Barnett. Yo, I was mentioning it to you before. There was this one dude, black dude from all those soap operas.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he passed
Yeah,
away.
right? You know, he's always showed like he's not a really a A-list actor, but he's always in a bunch of different things.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Rest in
It was
peace.
Miss Universe. We got a black, natural hair, 4C, beautiful woman winning, Miss Universe. You know,
For sure. I mean, we hit it up a couple of times in the previous episode, but it's just so since we're doing the wrap up, I think we should definitely bring it up again and just represent all the ladies that have
right.
won. And you know, like I said, we made the joke last time about we might not see this again, so just soak it all, soak this
For
all
real.
in. You know what I mean? Enjoy the vast beauty, the diversity, the uniqueness in what we contribute. And yeah, I'm pushing for some more goddesses to be in there just doing their thing.
Exactly. Oh, I'm speaking of South Africa. South Africa was trying to claim back their land, kick all them Europeans out of their land. You know.
Which, listen, I know the beauty within the country, but if you know the history of the country and you have to, for the people, the Europeans that actually came into the country, they have to have a mindset that maybe our peoples did come and take land. Let's find a way to not just remove them from the country, because I feel like that's their home too. If they were raised and grown in South Africa, that is their home. They just to find a neutral way to um, respect the peoples who are originally from there, and then figure out a way to bring the Europeans into that land, and not just say, oh, this is our land and we're not going nowhere. No, you have to respect those who came there before
Yeah,
you,
you do that.
for
You do.
sure.
And we had said that Trevor Noah did talk about it, and like apartheid in Africa was a terrible thing. Like they were going through Jim Crow laws when we were in elementary school. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, they have been, and like there's no, to me it's like the Europeans, there's no middle ground. Like they either want to completely take over the land or they like screaming victimhood, which we can definitely,
Yeah,
we could probably do a whole show on that.
yeah. I think Trevor was talking about, because his parents are mixed. His father, I think his father was white and his mother was black, and the things that they had to go through while he was growing up. Especially when you have a diverse family like that, especially in a place where it's apartheid, it has to be rough.
Yeah.
It has to be difficult raising somebody, and
Hmm.
I don't know. It's our history, their history. It's you look at it, it's just it's still sickening to me to know that it's not even that far along that these things were going on. And, not even 100 years, not even 40 years. Just really have to give an eye opener. And just even though that we still mention it at the end of 2019, says
For
a
real.
lot.
What else you got?
Yeah. Yo, I completely forgot about this dude. They kind of mask it off, but talking about masks, I'm talking about the Pied
Oh
Piper.
Lord, I know, right?
They locked up. They um finally got this guy, and he's hella nasty. I'm giving that R. Kelly definitely the nasty award um for all the bullshit
For
that he
real.
did. Like he put himself in that. Like, listen to his name, the Pied Piper. Those are like sneaky ways to tell you of who he is right in front of your face. And I think his celebrity
Hmm.
power let people try to bypass who he truly
Right.
was.
For real.
You know what I mean? And he played right into it. He kept just doing his thing because he was comfortable feeling that he was invincible.
And he was
And
he
with
was probably getting off on
Yep,
that. That, oh, I'm making. He has this double entendre going on, where we thinking it's one thing and he's
yeah,
dealing with adults, but he's really singing these songs to children. It's just very disturbing.
exactly. Yeah, so they got him. I don't think he's going nowhere.
Hmm.
You know, he's screaming broke for all the things that he got to do, and I think they supposed to be sentencing him, or they already gave him. I don't really know. I had, like I said, they had kind of low key stopped talking
Mm-hmm.
about it since they already got him behind
Right.
bars. But yeah, he played himself.
Let me see. What else I have? Oh, New Zealand. Remember those 50 people had died? New Zealand banned their military weapons and semi-automatic weapons after that. They were I think the first country or in a long time to do that. Because I know some countries in Europe have that done, but they completely banned those weapons this year.
Right, and you can see why. Like, if I could take out a room full of people, or even in the vicinity with just a couple of high power weapons like that,
Mm-hmm.
gotta really look at um what's the purpose. Like, how do you keep safety if you have openly these laws for these major weapons?
Right.
And I'm not against guns by far, because I think everybody needs the right to be able to protect themselves. But high powered weapons like that,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think it's too much. But it's not for me to say or to be nay or anything. It's just really just, I think everybody has the right to protect themselves.
For real. What else you got?
Yeah. Okay, what else do I got? So we did the people that had passed away, Area 51. What
Oh, the
else?
black hole. The black
Let's
hole
see.
image was released. Everybody was all excited about that.
Oh yeah, that was big. Just catching the image, because I think everybody, you had whole for the are into science and space travel and all of that.
Right.
You can't really picture what that could look like. But I think that image that they got, what with the black hole in action, because that color that shows it, that means that whatever the hole is consuming, it's got to be hella large for you to see colors within that black
Yeah,
hole.
lots of heat. Lots of heat action happening.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Low key terrifying to know something out there that can consume universes, and but then it's knowledge that's needed, because you know if something were like that to ever happen, there's not much that we could do, but just to have the knowledge that something out there is like
Mm-hmm.
that is valuable.
I
you
got
know
that.
Definitely valuable.
Speaking of,
2019 showed a lot.
huh?
I said 2019 showing us a lot of things that it's needed, a lot of things that are shockers. Like, I lost a friend that I didn't know that was going to be taken out this year. Like, not somebody I talk to all the time, but it was a shocker just to see that, losing somebody in the same age range really has an effect on how you look at your own life.
For real. That definitely
So
put things into perspective
yeah,
for you.
definitely. Because when you're in your teens, your 20s, and your 30s, you think you're invincible until you start looking around you, and then you see that there are people in your age range that can be taken away from you without a thought missing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's important to just realize. So that was a lesson for me for 2019 also. So
Mm-hmm. We had North Korea was testing their short range missiles earlier this year.
yeah,
They were
yeah,
they're so
they
gangster.
definitely was not playing. Yeah, they not playing. They not playing. They gonna show you we have power. And I remember, I think I was looking up a secret video in North
Mm-hmm.
Korea, and it was more of them saying that we're not gonna give up our nuclear weapons because you guys ain't getting rid of it. If we give up our ability to try to create nuclear weapons,
Mm-hmm.
then we'll have nothing that will say that we're a superpower. Because I think all superpowers within the world have nuclear weapons,
I mean,
which is
like the United States are kind of bullies when it comes to this. And I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get in trouble for this. I don't think so, but they, the United States has like 400 nuclear weapons.
worldwide,
Right,
right?
like that is so far surpasses the amount that any other individual country has. So it's
Yeah, and I think it goes from Russia to China to India to England. Like all these people have um, nuclear weapons, so it's like I think that's the mentality of North Korea. Even though there's far more worse things that they're doing with the country that has a highlighter on them. But you definitely have to pay attention to when they have weapons like that, also, because if they can do whatever they're doing in the country, they can easily access their weapons to do something
for
worse.
real. What else? You don't have anything else?
I do. I'm kind of disappointed that it's gonna be 2020 and we still haven't seen any cars that look anything close to the Jetsons. Like, when I was a kid, 2020, we were supposed to have cars, houses up in the sky like the Jetsons. We already got the phones like the Jetsons. We got the small technology that you could watch TV. You got this and that. We actually got robots out here. Your car can park by itself, but we just don't got the flying cars. Like, I'm disappointed. So
Well, yeah, I feel you. They got I think Google's working on the self-driving cars, but they had like set fire or they blew up or something. But
well, they got a couple. They got a couple of the self-driving cars in
mhm.
California actually put it in work. So I know that's coming. There's no doubt that's coming. But I'm looking forward to the flying cars.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah, that fly by themselves.
Disney came out with their streaming service this year. You know,
Oh, the Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus stream, which is I guess good if you have kids because you have access to all the old Disney movies and stuff that you. I remember there was a time when Disney movies would go into the vault. You wouldn't have access to them unless you bought the video or whatever.
Yeah,
But
for
yeah,
years.
exactly. But now I guess you have full access to it when if you pay them the monthly fee. I'm really only interested
Yeah,
in Mandalorian because I love Star Wars and anything related to Star Wars.
yeah. Likewise, Star Wars
Hmm.
fans, like definitely when you look at it, that was the only show I was watching. I'm binging through it every
Right.
Friday uh, the episode, but other than that, nothing was really catching me. I think National Geographic was probably something I would watch on there, but
Hmm.
I'm not really pushing for it. I think Netflix has a larger variety of things for you to
Yeah.
watch. And yeah, I think Netflix is still holding their space at the number one TV
Yeah. Number
providing
one
for sure.
entertainment. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I feel like Amazon Prime and Hulu got it. They cannot even touch a Netflix right now. Netflix is definitely still the at the forefront of that.
Exactly, for sure. And I think that, Hulu does have a couple of shows that are
Yeah.
worthwhile.
I definitely have Hulu and Netflix. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
um, maybe they will later on
Hmm. They gotta all come
definitely
together
bring
and
on.
like give us like a bundle or something. Like work with us a little bit.
Yeah, because you accumulate all the different apps that you get. If you accumulate and get all of them, you got to find something that fits you because then you'll be paying just the same much as you'll be paying for cable if you end up
Exactly.
or more for
Yeah.
sure.
What else you got? Oh, I have Denver legalized magic mushrooms. I'm all for that.
Oh, hold up. Shout outs to mushrooms, but remember the guy that played Simba?
Yeah.
Since we was on the
Hmm.
subject, I remember the contract that he had did when he was younger, and Disney wanted to pay him out when he was a kid.
Hmm.
I think he made the song "I Just Want to Be."
King.
Um, yeah, and he was the black kid from can't remember his name. Ah, but they wanted to pay him out,
Like,
and he was like, "Nah."
are you saying that they wanted to pay
His,
him like a lump sum instead of like the royalties for each time? Okay.
yes, exactly. But his mother knew that if how Disney would make, like you said, with the vote videos, they come out every periodically. He would make more money in the long run instead of taking whatever hundred thousands of dollars or millions of dollars that he would have gotten which was like the best deal that he ever had did. Like he literally saved saved a lot of money, or made more money doing that. So that was dope for him to do that.
Okay, yeah. Facebook was fined $5 billion for their privacy laws. About time. Gosh. And I don't even
Yeah,
think that was enough.
they've been information.
If they were fined 5 billion, they probably made 500 billion. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Um,
You were saying something about
oh
mushrooms.
yeah, Denver legalized mushrooms. Denver's at like they are definitely at the forefront of this, the legalization and using the money and taxes from this to benefit the people. Uh, there
Yeah,
and there's a whole slew of research that says that you know when you legalize it, when you take away the access, that makes people want it more. If you make it available to people, then people are like, do I really want it?
right,
Yeah,
right,
so that's
right.
happening in Colorado.
Colorado's opening their minds to whatever the hell they want.
And I mean, and mushrooms have been known to help people with Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, depression. And it's a
Yeah,
natural, it's medicinal.
right. And it's something that they've always known. The same thing with the legalization of marijuana, which is another topic that, I'm just thinking about right now. Like the amount of money that's being made in the legalization of marijuana and the new businesses that are opening, it's crazy that the people that were actually incarcerated for selling marijuana have become it became more difficult for them to get out, one, or even to turn around, get out and try to be in the business. One is because it's so expensive to get a license for being a marijuana dealer,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can't be a felon, um, if you want to open a business. So you can't be a felon even if you only sold
Right.
marijuana. You can't sell, so you would have to find a partner to join the business, and then you would have to be able to have a property before you get the
Mm.
license, um, available for where you're gonna be dispensing it at. So that may cost you whatever thousands upon $1,000 before you even get your license to sell in that
Right.
building. So they've made it so difficult to actually get into the business, that which was recently very illegal and incarcerating
Mm-hmm.
people. So there is a deal in certain places where you can get out of jail, but your charge has to be directly affiliated with marijuana.
Right.
Now, if you got locked up for paraphernalia of marijuana, you can't get out.
That's so crazy.
You won't be qualified for that. So whichever states have that, um, they will um, they will try to work with you. But whatever states, you're just out of luck. You're gonna be in there for selling a quarter pound of herbs for whatever time period, even if it's legal outside.
For real.
It's sick. That's sick.
Crazy. I mean, like,
Yeah,
if I remember we kind of went through the same thing with the alcohol prohibition. So I'm hoping that like they would,
yeah,
but the thing with I mean, I guess alcohol people can still make it in their homes, but the thing with marijuana and with mushrooms is that it's something that naturally grows out of the earth. And I just take issue because at least with alcohol you have to like process it in some way to produce. I just have issue with people trying to govern this thing that was is here for all of us because it comes out of the earth,
yeah.
right? And
Natural.
you can't lay claim to
And
that.
you heard the story of how they made it illegal, right? It was a fake story within whatever, when it became
Mm-hmm.
illegal, that they processed through the news saying that if you smoke marijuana, I think people will come get your girls, or whatever the fake story was to make it illegal. They pushed it,
When
and
when I get back to Fort Lauderdale, I'll show you. I have a DVD that is like a what they showed. What they used to show kids in school. If your kids
yeah,
smoke weed, then you're going to turn into like they showed. It's all black and white and super dramatic.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely create a narrative that would have people that were narrow-minded to agree with it, and then they stuck with it,
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at all the contributions that marijuana can
Right.
do for so many different reasons, you can actually create clothing with hemp.
Right.
You can make fabric with hemp. You can just do so many things with all the things that are associated with marijuana. It's like, I don't know, you know,
And
um, it just don't make no
it definitely, I
sense.
think it definitely helps society. I'd rather have everybody high than everybody drunk because, drunk people be cray.
Mm, right.
um, what else we got this
Definitely.
year? What else happened this year?
What else? I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to see if that it was it the story about those kids that were stuck underneath a underground
Mm.
cave and was rescued, but it took mad long for them to get there. I think that was one of the stories that I remember, and I'm trying to say that it was the beginning of the year
I
that
thought that was
happened,
coal
but
miners. Was that this year?
yeah,
Oh wait, the kids. I think I remember what you're talking about. Let me see if I can look
yeah,
it up.
they were soccer team or something like that.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Kids trapped in cave. Oh yeah, no, that was last year. 12 boys.
that
Yeah,
was
twelve
that
boys.
shit.
But I think they were like making a movie or something about it this year.
Okay, that's probably what I was remembering. Yeah.
The Vegas. Oh, visa applicants. When you if you're trying to come to the United States and you need a visa to come from the country that you're coming from, if the country you're coming from requires you to have a visa, the visa
Yeah.
applicants are required to release their social media info.
Wow.
Yo, I mean,
So that's
that's kind of
crazy.
crazy. I don't know if I'll be getting in if I wasn't already here.
I posted some
Some
crazy shit,
problematic things for the U.S.
Another thing was major was, our neighbors in South Florida, Bahamas got hit with like the craziest hurricane I
Oh,
ever see
Dorian, yeah,
ever, where Dorian was circulating around the island for 24
yeah, that was
hours.
terrible.
Like usually a hurricane goes in, comes
Mhm.
out within a couple of
Yeah,
hours. This place it stayed there, like consuming the water around it and just remaining over the island was
it's
like,
terrible.
I don't know if it's that's
Yeah,
terrifying within
it's
itself. Like that would make
huge
somebody
storm.
scared. I think
Yeah.
that's yeah. People in Florida are never really scared of hurricanes that much. The Floridians know what I mean by that, but because we know that it's gonna come and
Right.
go, it's not gonna stay. It's not gonna
There's no
have that
lingering.
much an
Yeah.
effect. But just to see that, yeah, and then the after effects of what it did to the people there was crazy. The video, the countless people that's been displaced, because Bahamas has quite a few different nationalities in there,
Hmm.
but just to see the devastation was like sick,
Right.
yo.
That's pretty terrible.
Man,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
you know what I remember? That
What's
a whole
that?
bunch of kids started getting the measles. Because people are on this not getting vaccinated, and
Right. What you feel about the
I
vaccination? What you
mean,
feel
I
about that?
think if we're eating how we're supposed to eat, you really don't need, like, your body will
Right.
naturally create an immunity.
Be able to defend.
But we're living in a society where nobody's eating how they would need to eat. Nobody. I don't. I mean, a very few, and
Right.
very few can afford to. That's another topic for another day. But um, I think certain vaccinations have a place. I don't know about these new ones where they're talking about HPV, and every day they come out with a new vaccination for something. Like, what we were doing all this time. But I think things like polio definitely, and measles, malaria. These are things that it's been proven that the numbers, since they started vaccinations, those numbers have decreased. So
Right.
I think life is about balance. You can't like completely eradicate something, but and if you're going to, you better have a good backup plan, or you have a good way to protect your family from these things. But the whole thing is you're not vaccinating these kids, and these kids are getting measles, and then they're spreading it to other kids.
Yeah, and I think the kids are very susceptible, very easier to get sick.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I definitely don't agree with everything about getting these shots. This definitely has to be something that's thought about. Kids are weaker when it comes to sickness, but I would tell people to be cautious and think about what you're taking every time you take it this year, because I always feel like if you got to inject me with something to get me sick, to defend a sickness that I may never get,
Right.
it's always questionable. And with anything that you inject into yourself, I think you just need to be hella cautious about what you're putting into you. Do a little bit of research before you just say yes and then go take a shot. And then you wonder why you sick for the whole week when you just openly gave permission for them to inject something to you that you know nothing
Yeah,
about.
we should do something on vaccines one day. We'll do an episode on that. um
Yeah,
what else we have? What is it? I had wrote something down to say. I can't understand my whole. Oh, Hurricane Dorian, we talked about that.
yeah, we did.
mm, oh, the Amazon rainforest had an 80% increase in their on what's burning. They had a huge fire, which was a little bit more. People say that can be related to global warming, because the Earth is definitely getting warmer, and
Right.
the fires, even in California, the fires were bigger this year. Um,
But I also heard that it may have been
oh,
intentional
really?
for the fires in Amazon because that was prime land for them to create
Oh,
on.
okay.
Now for California, being that it was in a residential, mostly wealthy
Mm,
area, I don't see the gain in that unless it was a collective of people trying to get some insurance
right.
scheme. But that was pretty heavy. Like my brother lives in
Mm,
Oakland, and he said he never really witnessed anything of the sort. But I can't forget about this video where I seen this guy like trying to get past the fires, and he was really concerned because I never seen a fire on the
right.
side that big, that ferocious. Like I've seen fires down here driving on the
Mm,
turnpike, not turnpike, but the West Coast highway or
hmm.
whatever, and because it gets hot like that,
Right, right.
but just to see it like
Mm,
that, it's crazy. And global warming is real. Like things are different. Just to see a hurricane like that massive, with that kind of
like the staying power, yeah.
direction, right? And to see the constant
Mm.
fires, whether it be on purpose or not. And you mentioned about the
Oh,
icebergs,
yeah.
like how they're melting.
315 billion ton iceberg breaks off of Antarctica, and like that's something that can increase the water levels all around the world.
Yeah, and the water's already
Hmm.
rising. We see the effects of it on a day to
In
day
Florida, yeah,
here.
because we're so flat and we're below
Right,
sea level. Yeah.
right. So let it rain for a little bit, and you're gonna see how effective global warming is happening in South Florida. So I don't know if any other places have been affected by it, but I know Italy is showing signs of flooding that can't be repaired, and they have been for quite a while. I think they've probably been one of the first places that really noticed that the water kept rising and has continued
Right.
rising. And being that a big ice sheet like that has pulled away every day, that thing is melting. You know, so it just goes to show you that we maybe not be able to do something right now, but if we pay attention to what we doing, whether it be burning these gases, or we have to change the format of what we're doing if we want to be here for another couple hundred more
Yeah,
years.
it's definitely a discussion that needs to be had, and I think renewable energy needs to be a big part of that discussion. Uh, and
Yeah,
like the people that are these tycoons that are making the most profit off of non-renewable energy right now, they're not willing to concede, or they don't want to let go of that money or that power, rather.
yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a conversation that needs to be continuously had. Um, oh yeah, we had what happened this year.
What's up?
Um, Kanye West was a rapper turned gospel star. Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, he dropped the gospel
Oh
album, and
yeah, Jesus
yeah,
is
and then
King.
all his Sunday services was kind of questionable for me because you know, like I said, I'm not as religious as I was raised to be,
Mm-hmm.
but I am a God fearing person,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'm not gonna be somebody. I may do some jokes, but I'm not gonna play with God like that. It just looked fishy to me. And listen, he could be doing that out of his heart. He could be having a real service and doing his
Mm-hmm.
thing, but it just looks suspect to me, and I'm not gonna really get into it. Kanye has always been the person that says what he's going to do and does it the way he wants.
For real.
I just won't be ever going to none of these services. I'm good. I'm not gonna be curious. I'm not gonna play with nobody, and I believe that he can make a great um, gospel album because he's just musically talented that way. And I've always been encouraged to always be like, hey, if Kanye come, I know if he really put some work back into who Kanye used
Yeah.
to be, he's definitely gonna be making music that people are gonna want to listen to. But when he's playing, saying that he's God and he is the whatever, it's like, yo, you tripping, and I'm gonna turn off you real quick. So he even had Kim dressing different because of his
Oh
Sunday
yeah,
services.
about you
He's
and
like,
being
yo,
more modest and stuff. Mm.
yeah. But then you had Shorty dressing, hella sexy months ago. Like
Yeah.
you got to make up your mind, Kanye. He's probably trying to get a cut, insurance
I
cut.
mean, it may last. I mean, people. I think people are allowed to. You're allowed to evolve, however you choose to evolve. So, but but
Yeah,
I just wonder how long it's gonna last. And to me, Kim is still hella sexy. It's still mad tight. She just covered up.
she's covered
Yeah.
up. Kanye ain't having that.
What else? Oh, you know what happened to Popeye's chicken fiasco? Yo, people was dying off of this Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Dying.
Yo,
They wanted that chicken sandwich so that they was willing to crash their
just
cars, have
killing
fights,
people, using the N
um,
word all
uh,
willy nilly.
threaten right, threatening the employees. Where I still haven't eaten the sandwich. I'm good. I see the people that was like, nah, they ain't gonna do it. They ain't gonna do it. They end up doing it. Like I'll go to Chick-fil-A, get me a
Oh
spicy
yeah,
chicken
so,
and they
so
mac and
good. Yeah.
cheese. Get me a large fry, and I'll be out of there in like less than 10 minutes.
Mhm.
Where you gonna be waiting at Popeyes for a good solid 50 when it was the height of
You
the
know,
chicken sandwich, and then come to find out
mhm.
it wasn't even that
Yeah,
great.
I had the chicken sandwich when I went to New York, and I also had it since I've been here. I bought one, and it's a regular chicken sandwich. Maybe because I'm Caribbean and we definitely like our food very well seasoned and like a little
Right.
spicy. But it was all right. It's not like, but it's nothing to write home about. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right.
So
See, all the craze, and then the lines that you still you can go get that sandwich whenever the hell you want.
right. All right.
So
So I mean, I
yeah,
don't have nothing else.
nah. 2019 was a hell of a lesson. It was something I'm blessed. I am definitely fortunate to see what's going on at the end of it. Um,
Hmm.
for all that people that was lost in 2019, we give you a rest in peace and all the families and blessings that know the struggle for losing life,
Right.
but um, for all the lessons and all the things that we've witnessed, yeah, it was a good year.
Yeah. Like if you this is coming to the end of the year, so just reflect. No feeling bad for decisions or because you cannot go back. It's all about looking forward. Just learn from your mistakes and make a plan. I mean, people say they don't stick to their resolutions, but I think it's great to take stock of your life and see what changes you want to make or where kind of make a plan for where you want to go this year. We hope you guys
Right.
enjoy your New Year's Eve with your loved ones or by yourself.
Yeah, keep safe
Yeah,
out
be
there
safe out there.
and
Don't
don't
drink
do
and
nothing crazy
drive.
bringing a
Yeah,
year.
take care of yourself, and
Yeah.
we'll see you all next year.
That's what's up. It's Uncut Melanin, episode 5. We do it for y'all. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us what you think about it, and we're going to holler at you in
All right.
2020. It's your boy Pat and D, and we out.
All right. We're out. Bye. There you are. Pat, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Yay, it's working.
What's good? What's good?
Uncut Melanin, episode 5. We're moving and grooving.
All right. It's going to be our yearly end review.
What is this? Your taxes?
Something like that. We trying to get on them taxes in the first place.
Oh no. I know everybody waiting for that.
Yeah, that's right.
How you
You
doing? How's
know,
your week? How's your Christmas?
Christmas was good. Spent time with the family. Um, Gave out some
Mhm.
gifts and ate some good food.
That's what it's all
Yeah,
about. Yeah, man.
right? Exactly. Can't get too in depth
I
in
know,
that,
right?
right?
Let's just relax and chill out. So, what is your do you have a black business?
Black business. I don't think I do. I think I'm
Ay,
slipping
ay, ay,
today.
ay, ay.
What about you? What's up?
I do have black a business. It is Shaz Unlimited.
Shaz Unlimited.
She is at Shaz Unlimited on Instagram. She's a makeup artist and a hairstylist to the stars. Check her out. You can book her. She is excellent. She does great work. She's been in the industry
That's
for
awesome.
years and years, and she's really good at what she does.
That's what's up. Did she do some work for
Yeah,
you?
she did my makeup for my photo shoot that I did.
Okay, okay, that's right, that's right. I know I heard that name somewhere.
Hmm.
All right, so it's the end of 2019, and you know what? This year was busy. There's a lot of things going on for every little square corner
Yeah.
of this place, and I mean, we could touch up on a lot of things. We can get into, anything that you want to jump into. We could just, touch up on there.
All right. So let's see. I mean, 2019 is the end of a decade. We're now going into the 20s. Yeah.
Exactly. How about
I
it?
remember this guy Maduro won the his second term in Venezuela, and Paraguay and
Hmm.
Peru recognizing this guy, but Brazil was seeing him as legitimate, so they're still doing business with them. But I know Venezuela's still going through it with people having access to food and resources. So that's
It's odd that, you see a place like Venezuela where, I mean, it's abundance around like the forest, just a vast
they have
amount of
lots of
land, and
oil and
then
things too.
right, you would think that something like that would be something that's possible, but even in this era, it's still a struggle, and when it comes to politics, whether it be here or in other countries, it's still a far reach to having a smooth run with
Yeah,
anything.
for
So
real. What else do
yeah.
you remember happening this year?
This year, China landed on the
Oh, they
moon
did?
for the first time. Yeah, they landed on the far end of the moon. I guess the part that nobody's ever really reached, and and that's an accomplishment for them because China's trying to get their hands in everything
I'm like,
with their vast.
damn, they late.
Nah, if they late, they definitely put it on a move because I think there's been a slowdown in, um, like reaches out for the moon.
Yeah,
Like I think everybody's focused on Mars and stuff like that, but China's trying to put a sign on the back of on the moon saying "Made in China." Trying to lock them
for
in
real.
like they doing the islands right now. China has their hand in every single
Yeah,
island, especially Africa too, which Africa is not an island, but they got their hands real
definitely.
deep in the
Yeah,
countries trying to do their thing. So first the moon, then Mars, and we gonna be owing that money up there.
for real. Hmm.
You know? So be on the lookout for China and
Well,
shit.
get me a Chinese man.
China man.
I'm just
Good
joking.
luck.
Um, what else happened? Oh, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram merged into one thing. Facebook and huh, huh.
How you